Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new stream. Of course, it's Monday, it's nice and quiet. We are, of course, preparing for Easter. I had a little break over the weekend myself, and it's good to be back. We all enjoyed the last flight we did from Innsbruck to Prague. We used a bit of real ATC as well. Today we're going in the Sky Travel, aka Smartwings airline in 737-800NG model. You see here we're outside on the ramp. Just having a quick look around the aircraft before we get inside. You can see the winglets are standard winglets on this aircraft. Nothing too special at all. The Smartwings livery, just following on to my last two sort of comments I made in the last stream. It's a very nice livery indeed. It has a nice colour scheme to it. Very simple as well. So perhaps it'd be good to go on a real Smartwings flight and do a video. Going from one of my favourite airports. We're going from Prague. We're going to one of my favourite airports. We're going to Belgrade. Estimated flight time is about an hour. I appreciate we started slightly late. There's been some delays in getting the flight plan sorted. So yeah, we're going to two of my from and to my favourite airports. There's Prague Ruzine Airport. Looking very colourful. Now the stream today is only in 30 FPS. I know sometimes on 60 FPS there's a little bit of lag, so I'm trying on 30 FPS for now. It's nice and bright, you should be able to see it. So because we're looking around the aircraft, it's looking very nice. OK, or Oscar Kilo Tango Sierra uniform. Tail identification, but our actual call sign today is Smartwings, aka VST. It's a very complicated airline when it comes to its ICAOs and call signs. So here we are, we're going to hop on in. There we are, we've already got ground power connected. We're going to get loaded up. I have downloaded the flight plan. See if I can get straight back into this after the little break I've had. So I've got the flight plan as standard on SimBrief. And that gives you all the information you need. One second. Changing a few switches and dials. Good to see everybody in here again. I hope you had a lot of a fantastic weekend preparing for Easter, of course. Alright, if I can get my flight plan up, trying to switch back and forth. So we're expected a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet today. Quite a lot. Only got a medium takeoff weight. And we only got 100 and not got a full cabin. I didn't expect to have a full cabin, but we got not a full cabin. 136 passengers. We need 6,522 kilograms of fuel. It's a shame you can't pin the flight plan in the game. I know if you go onto every tab you can, but I tried it and it doesn't really work for me. I don't want to sign up to Navigraph, so there's no point in using it. Otherwise I just use SimBrief. 136. Let's go ahead and enter these details now. So 6522. Now that is fuel, my mistake. 6522. And cargo. So I'm looking at the flight plan. I think I've shown you this before on these streams, so you kind of understand what it looks like. Cargo's 3288. 3288. That's kilograms, of course, so 3,288. Let's click activate. I had the jetway connected in the hope that it would, load them that way, but it's disconnected. So we'll call the ground services, aka the fuel truck, and we'll get started. We'll get the APU and things on. The battery's already on. Well, we've already got ground power. The battery wasn't already on. We'll get the APU on. I've already got some fuel in the tanks. Let's wait for everything to initialize. There's a nice little countdown there for initialization, about 80 seconds. Of course, the IRS can come on soon. Now, the reason that stall warning is working now is because we've got ground power on, so we've got more power. Now, this okay, there's radios. We have comms. Let's go ahead and turn that down. I have been trying to balance the audio, but last stream, for some reason, although it was a good stream, the audio was very quiet in the aircraft itself. The audio of the aircraft and the radio is very quiet. So I'm really trying to get the levels precise so you can hear it, while simultaneously still hearing me, of course. I turned it up a bit. If it's too loud, you know, give me a bella. Okay, APU should be on. I'm going to switch to APU power just for the moment. We'll leave ground power. Suppose we could turn ground power off. We'll go ahead and connect or turn on the APU straight to a line. Standard 8 minutes usually. And just to go our window heat on. Probe. Don't have a test button on this version of the aircraft. Yaw damper, of course. And there's the 8 minutes left and right. Trim air can come on. It's about 20 degrees. That's a good temperature, I think, for the entirety of the flight. Might be a little bit warm for some people, but the air conditioning will counteract it because it blows on them. Kind of cools them down as well. Just going to do a few more checks. We'll do our pre-flight checks. Make sure everything is working. Strobe's position. Excuse me. Strobe steady. Position steady. Okay. Everything is flashing. Everything's giving us the warning. Let's turn up the lights a little bit. Of course, we have a camera as well. Everything up on the top, overhead panels lit up, so that's passed. Yeah, on this one down here, I mentioned it before, we have a camera system there for the interior of the aircraft. Left door and the right door, so only left door being boarded, and then click the button again to turn it off. Need to monitor it at the moment. We look outside. Okay, the passengers aren't being loaded just yet. They will load after the fuel, so let's go and stick the seatbelt signs and things on in preparation for them coming. I will disconnect ground power. We may have done it automatically when the APU power was coming on. Just about refueled, so... Yeah, the refueling, sometimes on the Zibo mod 737, which is the aircraft I'm in, excuse me. The fueling is a bit confusing because it will say, like now it's at 68%, that's understandable, we're refueling, but in mid-flight I'll suddenly have a ton of fuel in the centre and it will be a lot more fuel than I had originally in the aircraft. So I think that's a little bit of a bug. I noticed it when I was going from London to Paris. It might be worth looking into. I'm not sure if that was an issue with the aircraft either. Okay, so we've got, I don't know if you can see it on the top right, we have of course the ADC. I'm going to tune into the ATIS now just while we wait for the fuel and passengers, then we'll get the FMC programmed. Okay, we're in Prague, we don't actually have any ATC available. Might save some time. So we're going to clear ourselves and we're going up to 35,000 today. Let's go ahead and type all this into the MCP. They don't even have an ATIS, so that's going to save more time. Okay, thank you very much. and we'll leave everything else blank for the moment. Of course, we do the enunciation panel recall. And passengers just about loading. For some reason we are still refueling. Taking an awful long time to refuel the aircraft. Ladder. The front stairs won't deploy as well. Keep clicking extend air stairs. Nothing is happening on it. And of course the aft entry is not open either. So it might just be this particular model, this particular livery aircraft, the Sky Travel, aka Smartwings. I'm not sure who I'm tuned into. I'm tuned into the Unicom system, so radio, and I think we're picking up on other people at Prague Airport. So we're confirmed for 06 departure. Now I'm going to call that person there TKY fool because he's just clearly taking off from the wrong runway. Unless I'm the fool, of course. So it's saying here that 06 is the runway, and that was the runway I had in my flight plan as departure. Anyway, it matches with the wind as well. We'll go ahead and take off on it regardless. Just give the ATC a quick check. Right, fuel's on board. Gonna check the radar system. So you're on VATSIM radar, you better click on the airport. They'll give you some more detailed information, because otherwise there's no way of there's unfortunately no way of getting it unless you click on the airport. There was nothing on the flight plan either that I saw, unless the other day when I landed, because it was 30. That means we may have to amend our departure. I think we should just take off on the planned runway we have. Don't make it easy to find. I mean, they're sending no information here, so we're going to go ahead and take off from our planned runway anyway. 06. If it's not the active runway, so what? You know, there's no ATC here. Okay, 06 on the course as well. I don't know what our initial heading will be because I've got the FMC programmed yet. APU bleed. 1 minute on the IRS, they take absolutely forever. And in this time, if you're new here, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Glenn from a stream 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I had a bit of a break on Friday, but in general, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday on a European flight. If you are new and a bit unsure what's happening, we would call for our clearance now, or possibly call the tower for something else, depends what we're wanting to do, and then get our clearance for departure, etc, etc. I'm going to try one more time with the front doors stairs. So we can see here we got clearly 2 doors open. The stairs at the front won't extend. That's got to be a bug on the Smartwings. So I'll leave it for now. We'll just keep that door shut. And there's been no indication of cargo loading or anything, although it has loaded up because the cargo is 100, fuel's 99%. You can see there 3.2. 3,260 just about in both sides, in both wings. IRS is aligned. Initialization begins, so we click on initialize the position and tell the aircraft where we're situated. There it goes. So we told it where we're situated in, well, we have to put the airport in ourselves, so LKPR. On gate, never any way to tell from the outside, from the inside, sorry, you sometimes have to go, excuse me, external view in order to find the gate number, but usually in real life they probably have it in front, or someone would tell the aircraft where they're parked. So 20. Here's the gate number. Routes. We just copy and paste it there like that, and of course we're going to Lima Yankee Bravo Echo, one of my favourite airports in Belgrade. Flight number today is 090. We're of course Sky Travel 090. Now we're going to load our company route in. So index, navigation, flight plan. There we go. Back to index. Route, sorry, back to route. Paste into company route and then activate it. It should come up with the one we have on SimBrief, I hope. So it's given us some information. It's given us a TC2 Charlie Devda arrival. I have to double check, of course, make sure the FMC is going to be programmed to the actual flight plan we have. I don't want it to be incorrect. So VOS for Echo, that's correct. VOS Lixa. Yeah, I think it's all good. It's all good. Balap, direct to Prague. Yeah, it's all in there. So flight plan has come out absolutely perfect. Departure is runway 6 according to SimBrief. Landing at 12 right, which is the correct runway for Belgrade. I landed there last night actually. The other night, sorry, I did a flight from Bucharest to Belgrade in the Baron, believe it or not. That took a good amount of time. And then last night I did one for London to Paris in the exact same aircraft. Highly recommend the Baron to you if you're new to the game. It's a good beginner aircraft as well. For flight sims, that is. Just looking at the map, we're not expected to have any bad weather en route. Planned optimum flight level. Alright, so we've got a departure. Yeah, everything's in. Let's just double check the plan on here. So legs.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Thank you, miss. Okay, is there a break there? It seems to show Devda and then nothing else. Devda and then to that thing, which is the beginning. Arrival. No, it's not selected the arrival. I thought it had. I mean, if you go onto route, we can see there that okay, there's a break in it. It's looking pretty good though. I mean, TSAC 2 Charlie, that's correct. So back to legs. I wonder why it's not showing it. Interesting. TSAC 2 Charlie. I don't think Devda's supposed to be on there unless Devda's the go around point of view. So it's already selected, and then let's try that. Let's try and enter it manually, see if it works. Seems, yeah, it seems there was a bright there, so I had to enter the last bit myself, but in general it's looking good. Just as long as we're not being diverted somewhere insane, you know, like 50, 100 nautical miles in the wrong direction. You can see it's a very short flight. We'll be there in no time, no rush.
Should be just a few more minutes. Maintenance will wrap up and hand us our logbook, and we'll be on our way. Thanks for your patience.
That's very true. Maintenance will and has handed on us the logbook and the papers. He's told us that actually everything is good in the aircraft, so we're all good to go. Aircraft's safe, it's airworthy, we have an airworthiness certificate. We have many things, including 136 passengers. Ah, it's nice with the lights on. Very, very dark as well in the cockpit today. Okay, let's go ahead and get our thing programmed. So 06. Performance. Don't think we have any reserves. Cost index, of course, it's a little bit tricky to find sometimes, but it'll be on the flight plan. Especially if you use SimBrief, it's quite simple. It would say CI, just cost index, it'll come under cruise, under flight plan summary. So 44, very cheap flight, I have to say. And then 350. Plan fuel. It's not quite 6522, so 6.52. Outside air temperature. So we had this issue last time as well with the temperature, saying 99 degrees. That isn't accurate. We also had a thing here which we had to hold the button. We had to hold it to align it. I feel like we've got the same livery aircraft, but just the wrong. Well, we got a different model of the same, a different livery, different model. I don't know. It just feels like a whole different thing when they mix things up like that. So outside air temperature is not even working, but we can click it and it does it automatically. Take off. Flaps, we do standard 5 flaps. 5 degrees of flaps. Center of gravity, so we need 522, 525. Not much. 134, 36 and 45. Let's go ahead and arm the MCP. Auto throttle, lateral navigations. Not vertical navigation just yet. Just check our cruise altitude. Yeah, okay. We can in fact arm vertical navigation and request or make sure all the doors are shut first. So all doors are shut. You can do an external view. Of course, the cabin here will tell you if there's a door open or not. Okay, ground services, better pushback, pre-plan. Heading to 06 left. 06.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Okay, we have a gentleman sounding like he's from America. We are in fact in Prague.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Go ahead and stick some other systems on in preparation. Let's go ahead and start number 1 engine. Double check there's no ATC available. Nope, so we're all good. No other aircraft here, so we're safe to depart. Stick number 1 engine on. Beacons, fuel pumps. Introduction of fuel. That's a very cool thing in this cockpit.
All doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay, cool. Reconnect. Thank you. Yeah, so that's a very cool thing. This little wheel well, it's just very, very interesting to push this little button, especially as a pilot in the cockpit of an aircraft. I'll absolutely love it. The interaction is fantastic. Cargo fire. Now, only recently learned if you push this in flight, you can only reset it on the ground. We are in fact on the ground, but we've come up with a light up here and it would say there was a fault or something if you pushed it in the air. And then of course maintenance would have to come and check it or some other things. So we've got 1000, we'll change that. I don't know. So we'll put 1124 because we're going on An IFR flight, of course, to
So
Belgrade.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Thank you. So parking brake released.
Starting pushback.
Number 2 engine, come on. APU generator off and generator on the engine.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you very much. We should give our flight attendants names. I think Mary's a bit too cliche. So we'll bypass Mary for now. We'll just call her flight attendant. Welcome in, find us. Good to see you here. Hope you're a fan of Smartwings. After the last flight we did. Okay, engine 1 is just about successfully started. Go ahead and check our controls. So elevators always seem to work. Ailerons, rudder control, and we should have spoilers. Yep, spoilers, aka speed brakes. Projected takeoff on the auto brake and 5 degrees of flaps. And I'm going to leave the so leading in flaps transitioning, leading edge flaps. Don't think you can see them too well here. Because the flaps themselves deploying, extending for the aircraft to generate lift. It's a bit of a twofold thing with flaps. They generate lift to increase drag on the wing, etc. The aerodynamics of the aircraft change, and then helps you to also decrease the stall speed and land. So if you're interested in that stuff, go and check it out on I don't know,
Operation
YouTube or
complete.
something.
Set parking brake.
Right.
Disconnecting tow.
134.
Stand by.
Let's stick our landing taxi lights on in sec. Don't need logo lights, or it's looking a bit gloomy outside. And we'll just check the pressure. I've got it written down as 1011. Let's check what it's actually saying. So yeah, 1011. So the flight sim brief flight plan is accurate. So forgot what it was then. 11 on there. And 11 on there. So remember, Smartwings is national airline of Prague. I think he's disconnecting. Parking brake set.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Packs on. Isolation valve automatic. Generators, APU generators off. Generators onto engines. APU bleed air off. APU off. Almost didn't set the pressurization, so 35,000. Quite high up at the moment. About 1,200 feet. Everything else looks good on the panel. Of course, the green light up here will illuminate when leading edge devices are extending, aka the slats. You can see the slats here, and the green thing is the flaps. It's going to be taxiing down, probably a hotel to Foxtrot. So hotel straight down Foxtrot to 06. My mistake, on the wrong way, but that's fine. We'll go hotel and we'll turn around on golf. And then go back down golf. think we're respecting the one-way system at the moment. If we had gone the other way, we would have been facing the wrong direction. In terms of the taxiways, that is. Because we'd be encountering the incoming traffic. So the true outside air temperature on this livery is completely broken. It's saying plus 46. We know it's about 20 degrees outside. So it's still warm, but it's not quite as warm as the game thinks. Or the aircraft thinks. We're not going to taxi onto 06, we'll just taxi down here, and then we'll go around back the long way basically. I'll give ATC Unicom a call when we're on departure. Let's turn that up so we can hear other aircraft. So we'll go straight down Delta and intersect Foxtrot in a moment. We'll carry on down Delta for now. Make sure everything's clear left. Clear right. We're doing a very fast taxi today. There's no other traffic, so we can do it. Realistically, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable taxiing above 20 knots or 20 grounds or 20 on the ground speed. In bad conditions or icy conditions, you shouldn't really go above 15. I don't understand pilots who taxi fast anyway. I understand you've got a departure and you've got a schedule and you've got to depart on time, but in terms of safety, it's probably not the best to be going that fast. It's a big aircraft, remember. I'm going to stick the TCAS and take off now. So on mine, there's a takeoff and then there's a takeoff RA. It's yeah, peculiar. So we're going straight down to the end. We need the entirety of the runway. Go to checklist. We can do a pre-flight checklist for takeoff. We'll do that when we get there. I'm going to see the weather radar on. So we verified the runway. I'm going to stick the strobes on early as well, just because there's no other traffic in sight. Landing lights, not just yet. We will turn the turnout lights on. Transponder goes to TARA. Now we've put a random squawk code in because ATC is not available to give us information on it, so we can't get a squawk code from them. So fixed landing lights will come on, and then the rest of it can be completed. I already know the checklist. I already know the procedures for departure, etc. So we don't need to follow it unless you want me to in the future. Then let me know. Okay, I'm going to stick ignition to continuous. I'm hoping for a straight out departure. No delays. I can't see any other aircraft in the area. Prague's very quiet today. I am surprised. Prague and Belgrade are always quite quiet, but they're really good airports. It was just a coincidence that the last flight and stream that I did, when I flew in, there was actually loads of people there. So a real pleasure, to be honest. A real difference in in this simulator experience. Alright, let's go ahead and get lined up and take off. Let me just change it before we go. Let me stick landing lights on first. So it's lights off. I think that's about us ready to go. Transponders on. Ignition continuous. Lights, packs on. Hydraulic pumps on. I talk about an incident involving the hydraulics during the flight. Quite interesting. I think somebody else already talked through it, but it's nonetheless interesting to hear it again. Prague traffic, this is Skytrail 090, take it off 06. Okay, so courtesy call, I think, because there's absolutely nobody nearby to hear it. Quite a high end 1% today, about 99.5%. We've gone full out on the speed. Stabilise ourselves on the runway. Take off, go around, switch, click.
knots.
80 knots. V1,
rotate.
rotate.
Positive rate.
Positive rate, climb, gear up. Okay, lateral navigations, come on, green. Can follow the route.
$400.
400 feet. Flaps to 1. Trim down to about 10 degrees.
1,000.
Flaps up. Okay, there we go. Neutralize the gear. Rejected takeoff brake turn to off, so N1's kicked in for the climb. About 93.6% on climb. Up to 250 knots. We can pitch now to try and maintain that. Probably going to maintain about 15 degrees, just slightly longer on the departure. So we're cleared straight up to 10,000 feet. A little bit bumpy, a little bit turbulent. Gone past the transition, so we press standard pressure. Landing lights off. Turn out lights off. Alright, there's two options for that landing light. I'm going to check that in a second. We're already at 6,000 feet, so I'm going to go and engage the autopilot. That's kicked in really quick actually, in terms of height. We climbed relatively, although to be fair we're at 1,200 feet to start with. Okay, we're banking to the left, should be banking to the right. There we go. Yeah, there seems to be two options on those landing lights. You got middle option then. I hope I extended them correctly. Ignition off. Yeah, very good. That was a good departure. Very steady, very smooth. Oh, we can't quite see Prague. Maybe we can out the window. There it is. Massive city. Just about see it through the crack in the seat in the wing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We haven't got a traffic warning. There was a plane there, it's probably quite high up. So we're going to turn south now towards Belgrade Airport, of course. I'm going to check the chat, see how you're all doing in there.
We have an excellent team on board today, and we are all happy to offer you any assistance you may require throughout the flight. Our in-flight entertainment has begun.
Okay, so they started in-flight entertainment. Excuse me. In-flight entertainment and Smartwings. Awesome. So cleared up to 300 knots, just about. Cleared up to 35,000, following the FMC. So it doesn't seem like there's any restrictions on takeoff in Prague, but there's certainly restrictions on landing. They're just like most international airports, to be honest. So yeah, the interesting thing about this flight I heard about in Lithuania was another streamer talked about it, and also a few other people, so I'm not surprised if you've already heard it. But apparently there was a pilot or co-pilot, so we'll imagine with a co-pilot, and he was a Lithuanian, in Lithuania or from Lithuania or something, and he reached up, or he may have been confused or a bit overwhelmed, and he turned off, rather than turning the anti-ice on or off, rather than turning it off, he turned the hydraulic pumps, electrical pumps and the hydraulics. Now, when I did that, not on this, but when I tried it, I noticed and I was shown the warnings, and we could try it now, I guess. We've not got yeah, we've not got the second one engaged. I won't try it just in case something does go wrong, but there was a few warnings popped up. So there's low pressure warnings on the spoilers and controls on this side, you know, to tell them there was a noise, there was an alarm. There's a few lights on here as well. We just cranked the anti-ice on because we're passing through 17,000 feet and it's very cold. But yeah, someone turned it off. Apparently he might have been overwhelmed, so that resulted in a situation for the aircraft which resulted in unfortunate tragedy. Yeah, I can't really word it any better than that. A tragedy, to be honest. I might paste the link in chat if you want to read about it, although to be honest we don't want to read about tragedies. Yeah, Vilnius Airport, crashed during its approach to Vilnius airport. Let's see if this is the correct one first. Ministry of Justice clarified the investigation interim report based on data obtained. Blah blah blah. Yeah, because of the hydraulic system failure, the crew mistakenly thought the flaps were extended when they were not. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. So when you turn this off, the hydraulics, even if it's a mistake, the flight controls here are going to give you a low pressure warning. You're also going to get warnings up here, so it won't be deploying. These lights won't illuminate, and most likely the flaps here are not going to come around in this arc in a symmetrical fashion. They're going to be stalled. They're not going to move because there's no pressure to the controls. So yeah, that would explain why the aircraft wasn't able to slow down. And imagine if you're decreasing that speed and you're not got the flaps, you're going to end up stalling, and that's what seems to have happened. So it says it adversely affected the aircraft's handling. Interim report found that information. Worsened by communication issues between the crew and air traffic control. So seems like the cause of crash has been put down to human error, particularly the deactivation of the hydraulic system, likely caused by the DHL cargo aircraft, causing the aircraft to crash. It was DHL cargo aircraft, so terrible incident. Always if you're flying this aircraft, always make sure you're switching off the right buttons and be aware of the alarms and understand the procedures in case you turn it off by accident. I mean, the obvious thing to do would just turn it back on, of course. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, shame we can't read about something a bit more positive, but it's about as close as we can get for this flight. May fly up to Vilnius at some point. That wing flex is amazing. Anyway, we're just passing through flight level 250, so I'm going to take a quick step away for a drink. Standard for me to get out of the cockpit during this time and get myself a drink and have a little bit of a break. I don't think we got a cockpit toilet on this aircraft, so I'll have to step into the cabin for a moment. I'll give them the notification on the PA as well. Turn that up a little bit so you can hear it. Actually, no, I'll leave the captain to do it himself. He's very smart. He can do it all on his own. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned to the cockpit. Really, I hope everyone's doing well this week. Okay. Just about approaching the top of climb, TC, top of climb. 35,000 feet, Elixir. And then descent point comes after Tisak. Well, just after we pass Prague, we'll be descending down. Or Balap, my mistake, Balap, we were going from 35,000, so actually not quite, not a long time at all really, at 35,000. We're barely at it now, so we'll Balap down to 30, and then Tisak 13,000, Bell 8,000, IA 7, so basically down to 7,000 feet. I'll change it when we get closer. And it seems like the final approach will be at 3,000 feet, so the airport must be quite high up, and then go around. The hold is at 3,000, and the go around will probably be to 3,000 as well. Planning it nice and early because we're not got that long on the flight. About actually there is quite a big stretch there of 100 nautical miles. We've got about 250 nautical miles to go. 260 just about. So enjoy the sunny weather on the way.
Thousand to go.
This little white diamond here is traffic. For some reason he's heading in our direction, but it says -10 on it. That could be minus. This looks like a crash that's waiting to happen. It might actually be the case, so we have to be careful where this plane is. Lots, Polish Airlines lots. He's probably come from Poland. I think we'll just be passed, just in front of him by the time he gets to us. He seems to have frozen in midair for some reason. And he's not appearing on the radar. Oh yeah, there he is. -10. Or maybe -10 nautical miles. We keep our eyes out just in case he might be above or below us. I think that's him there. That is the aircraft. Wow. What timing to see that. I never see any other planes in the sky when I'm flying this high. So amazing. That's Polish Airlines lot. And if we had continued on that route, I think he's probably at the same flight level. No doubt we would have had a crash if we'd... there could have been a crash there potentially. Damn. So I need ATC online. Very, very cool. There he goes. off to wherever he's going. I'll have to download a lot livery as well at some point. I absolutely love the Polish Airlines lot. It's been going back for a long time now. It's been going for decades, so it'd be cool to have that on the aircraft. Yeah, so lot, just checking the map. He's going from Polski Airlines, of course, from Katowice. I think KT is Krakow, Belize, or Katowice. I don't know, somewhere around there. He's going to Mallorca for a nice sunny holiday. So he's travelled from... trying to find the name of it. Cannot find it. Anyway, he's travelling to a nice place, Mallorca. We might have to travel down to the Mediterranean and Spain again at one point. Of course, we're online. Going to Beograd, or Belgrade, however you want to say it. No ATC at all, so we're going to be passing through Slovakia, Hungary, of course, and then into Serbia. Oh, blimey. Just looking over a flight plan of that gentleman in the locked aircraft, that is miles away. He's got at least 1,000 nautical miles to go. Sorry, at least 1,000 in total, so that is a massive flight. Looking at the map, I think we need to carry on east. We need to push into the forbidden land of Russia, so I'm really hoping by the next flight we can go from Serbia. We'll have to do a stopover, I think, before we get to Russia, because there's the restrictions, of course. There's flight restrictions, so we could either fly from Belgrade down to Turkey, which is a real life thing that might happen in order to get up to Russia, or we can go from Belgrade to Moldova and then carry on to Moscow. We can't stop in Ukraine. We can't really fly over Ukraine or Belarus. So I suppose, yeah, I think Turkey might potentially be an option. We fly down to Turkey from Belgrade and then up to Moscow. Or heck, even Georgia. Georgia might be an option there. And I believe, is Tbilisi, is it? Capital of Georgia? Yeah, I think Tbilisi might be a better option. I haven't flown there yet. And then we're sort of getting further east, and we're well out of Europe at that point. And if we do go to Tbilisi, that takes us over the Black Sea, no doubt. Even the interior is different. They mentioned it last night, but the interior for Smartwings aircraft on the Zibo mod, they have no TVs on them. To be fair, that's quite realistic. I've been on many 737s that don't have TVs. Very rare that aircraft do have TVs on them. It's particularly the budget airlines as well. Even a different thing on the back, it says home welcome aboard, and then presumably the Smartwings logo or something like that. So Smartwings, very cool. Just about make out what it says. A little bit dirty, I have to say. They need to do a better job cleaning. And this language is Czech, of course, Czech Airlines Smartwings. If you know what that says, how to pronounce that, that'd be great. Great to know how to say it. DLH there, 783, leaving cockpit for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I think he might mean DHL, because I've never heard of DLH. Gonna start doing some more content soon as well. Some varied content for the aviation enthusiasts out there, plane enthusiasts. It'd be great to do some plane spotting at the airport, and I don't really want to try that with the viewers at the moment. I just want to stick to this. So if you want to see anything in particular, you want to see a particular aircraft, World War II aircraft for example, or a bomber, a nuclear bomber, anything you want to see, just let me know and I'll try and get a video of it. Do nautical miles to Balap, and then descent at turn the joke off a second to Prague, so Balap to Prague, which is 118 nautical miles. Quite the stretch, quite the journey. Okay, this airspace here in between these red lines is Slovakia, I believe, and then once we cross the red line, we'll be in excuse me, Hungary, not Budapest. So at the moment, we're just about to leave Slovakian airspace. Absolutely nobody there. There is now ATC, no ATC, sorry, but there is now aircraft at Prague airport. We've got KLM on a British Airways. Another 737-800 at Prague, KLM livery, and British Airways is a A319. I haven't tried the Airbus yet. I will give it a go at some point. I'm enjoying the 737 though. Although to be fair, I'm not a fan of Airbus, so we might have to try the MD-80 instead, MD-82 or something like that. Okay, Romania's got airspace, that might be interesting. There's actually flew from Bucharest the other night, to, as I said earlier, from Bucharest to Belgrade. And the AC in both of those airports was fantastic. It would have been better actually, it might have been better to go down to Bucharest for the ATC. Yes, maybe we'll have to fail an engine to get diversion. If you don't know what Bucharest is, it's LROP, that's the ICA, all of it. Very busy as well, they've got delivery ground and ATIS. Whereas Belgrade, seems like everyone's passing over it. Well, Belgrade airport's one of the best airports in Europe. It's massive, it's got, you know, good facilities. Granted, the high-speed turnouts don't work at the moment, but in general, it's a fantastic airport. It's only got 2 runways as well. Okay, we've got a barrage of planes here. We may be in the danger zone. We've got three aircraft appearing on TCAS. We've got to be super careful. They may be parked at airports. They may be flying. Not close to us anyway. Quite some distance out. See that on the right side. We've got almost like they're flying in unison. I can't see them on the map. Almost like they're flying together, they're that close. And I got a third one off somewhere else which has vanished. It's probably these two, they have very similar call signs. I don't know what they're doing in terms of flying. I don't condone this kind of flying in an airliner. You should always fly according to the handbook and whatever else. Flying that close together would never be permitted in real life. Especially if they're at the same altitude as well. So that's a big no-no. Unless, of course, it's approved and it's formation flying in smaller aircraft, but you wouldn't really do it in a 737 or an airliner. Okay, we're just entering Hungary. Hopefully passing over Budapest soon. And then this red line here represents, of course, the end of Hungary and the beginning of Belgrade, Serbia. Or Serbia, Belgrade, or wherever. Very slow flight, I have to say. We're only going at 0.79 max, so 267 knots just about. Let's have passenger applause on. Let's make sure we get our round of applause when we land. To announce, strobe attend, cabin ready. Maybe we could change that to taxi at some point. Captain messages automatic, so that's good. Yeah, let's see if they clap on landing for us. Just gonna double check. So according to this, 63% of fuel. So got about 4 tons of fuel left, which is good. I think at this point, yeah, we've got about 90 nautical miles till we start descending. Well within time. Only got 50 nautical miles to the top of the sun. My style preparation now for the descent, probably down to 7,000 feet, I think it is. Yeah, 7,000, so we can just put that into the MCP. Now when we get to the top of the descent, it descends automatically. We're going to leave it on vertical navigation for now. So just slowing down on the speed there, just decreasing the throttle, sorry for cruise. Should be maintaining cruise thrust. Unless changing the altitude has confused it a little bit. Still got 50 nautical miles till we're meant to go down anyway. And that's a little bit odd. It should be about 85.4 on the cruise thrust. It seems to be slowing down. That could be an issue with the engine. No, speeding back up again. Could be an issue with the engine potentially. Let's try and get this on this screen so we can see it. Now the anti-ice is on. That could indicate potential ice build-up if it's not maintaining thrust. Oh well, he's at the correct speed. It's likely down to the fact that he's at the correct speed. He doesn't need that much power to begin with. Go ahead and switch back to the normal main display unit, or main panel DUs, and lower DUs of course can be in the same status in now. Double check everything. Just going to turn lights. Full of lights up a little bit, and circuit breaker lights. Let's go ahead and look at the engine actually while we can. I haven't usually sat in this position before, so good to change it and have a look. So there's the leading edge. There's the engine. Looking very nice. You see there's an ice build-up outside. Well, there's no ice, but there's the fact that it's gone darker means that it's cold and it's got ice in the air, I guess. So there's no ice build-up on the wings, I can see. Although it's natural to have a little bit there sometimes. Okay, there's the engine. Looking very good. I don't know if we can interact with the engine while we're out in this view. Amazing, absolutely massive. It looks massive, and then you look at the 777 engines and it looks absolutely tiny. Blimey. I think these are Rolls-Royce engines as well. If someone's an engineer or even an aircraft manufacturer, let me know what they are. There's top of descent. 24 nautical miles out. Awesome. I think we've done this just about in time. Just gonna have a look with the 737-800NG engines are. So they're saying it's CFM, International CFM 56-7 series. Never really heard of that one. Primary competition is the Airbus A320 family. Yep, that makes sense. The Airbus A320 is operated by, I think, EasyJet, and I believe British Airways might have some as well. There you go, there's the descent. Top of descent, slightly early, which is nice. We're just about to pass into Serbia's airspace momentarily. Some strange names in Hungary, some strange names places. But yeah, it's changed to Serbia momentarily. You can see the red line. No ATC available just yet. Unfortunately, there's been none in this flight. They have got ATC at Budapest and in Romania as well. I was fortunate enough the other night to get someone on the ATC.
We're on our descent. Seatbelt signs going to be back up for our arrival after up and about.
Yeah, seatbelt signs on.
Thanks again. Hope you have a nice week. Have you on here very shortly.
Awesome.
The seatbelt sign has been switched on. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Okay, so they're giving us the notifications, or the cabin notifications, and we're going to continue as we are here. It's quite a steep descent. Wing flex is amazing. I'll have to figure out which PA is Smartwings. I did only recently find out which one was Ryanair. It's saying it's automatic, but it doesn't sound very Czech. She has a very high-pitched voice. What's cabin light? Yeah, cabin light is bright. Don't even need to change it. We're in the daylight. So we're tracking, and we're LNAV, VNAV here. Armed on the LNAV, engaged on these and VNAV as well, and then armed on the throttle. So at the moment it seems to be 42%. It's reducing it in order to climb down at the 289 on speed. Okay, a little bit complicated on the approach. I think ATC, if it was available, would give us, seems like a straight in as well. It'd probably give us direct from Tisak to Bel, because that's quite a turnaround there at the bottom. The further green circles are probably also deceleration points in top of descents as well. As you can see there, top of descent 7,000. We're already going down to 7,000 now, so it'll be nice and early. Auto brake set to 2. Yeah, everything's looking good. I'll just leave it as it is. I'll arm the spoilers early. Welcome to Belgrade. Welcome to Serbia, sorry. Hope you're enjoying the flight. I hope you're looking forward to London. It looks like we've got aircraft at the airport as well. That's fantastic. Okay, we've got a plane reversing down the taxiway and possibly just landed on the taxiway by the look of it. Absolutely bizarre. If you're this person, probably not a good idea to do that. He's probably only just realised he's taxiing the wrong runway as well. We're landing on 12 right. I'm going to double check that now on the map, on the proper map that is. Go down here and check it on this one. Okay, so 1015 QNH. Yeah. ILS 12 right. Let's go ahead and get the frequency. It's 109.5. I have got it written down. So let's go to double check. So we enter it in the navigation. So 109.5. Put that to active on both sides. Okay, now here's this bug. So we had about 4 tons left, and now we've got 6.5 tons in the centre. Seems to be when you cross certain borders it does it. You cross a border, all of a sudden you've got tons of fuel in the centre and you've got more than you originally had. So that's definitely something that needs sorting out. If you are the developer of the Zibo mod, please try to fix it. Obviously there's no fuel in centre prior, and we had about 2,000 kilos in each. It shouldn't then go to 6,500 in the middle. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, stick that on. Deceleration point's way down there. When we get to Tisat, we should be about 13,000 feet, just above it. And then when we reach Bell, 8,000, and then etc, etc. Final approach is 3,000 feet. Just keep that in mind. We could come back to that. By the way, this I've noticed with this aircraft, obviously it's a simulator, but this it's different in the actual plane. It doesn't switch like that. You have to hold it. Well, you don't have to hold it, but you switch it, and then it sort of bounce back to the middle, and then you can change it, of course. Try and get rid of it. I wonder if you can dump the fuel off the plane. Doesn't seem to be an option to do it. And now we got an overheat warning. I never noticed that before. We got an overheat warning on the hydraulics, so something's definitely going wrong in this aircraft when it goes over boundaries of countries. So when it crosses a border, it seems to mix up the fuel, and then it's also giving us the overheat. I don't know how long that overheat warning's been there, to be honest. Could have been there the entirety of the flight. I'm going to switch the anti-ice off, not the hydraulics. Let's see what happens. It's quite bumpy as well, quite a lot of turbulence. Okay, I'm going to deploy the speed brakes, the spoilers, to slow us down. We are well over recommended speed at the moment. It should be below 250. Okay, speed's going to decrease nicely now. Still way too fast, of course. Let's go ahead and just maintain 10,000 feet. Just so we can slow down the speed. Not going to use vertical navigation at this point. I'll just use the other options. So we select speed manually and the altitude manually. Okay, should be descending. Spoilers go back to... Alright, autopilot just clicked off. Spoilers go back to armed. Got a message in the FMC. Possibly to do with the MCP. Amazing view. We're right in between the clouds here. Well, there's Belgrade Airport, of course. We're going to have to slow down quite a lot. Decrease it to 230 and we'll go down to 3,000 feet. Should be at, well, we'll go down to 7 as we originally planned, so we'll go down to 7,000 feet. Now we're at the appropriate speed, we can cross the 10,000 foot threshold. Double check the pressure, 1019 or something like that. 1015. Transition level has been reached. Do the enunciation recall now, or illumination recall on this panel. So you can see you got positive recall on both sides. Let's go through the checklist properly. Do the descent checklist. Landing altitude, yep, we've just recalled system enunciation. VREF, let's go ahead and check that. We know final altitude is 3000. Initialize it, so it's about 146, 147 knots final speed. Minimums should be set. Yep, got it there. Or maybe we should do radio minimums instead. I'll stick it on barometric. Navigation radio, we're done. Auto brake, yeah, as needed. Descent checklist complete. We'll do the approach, ground proximity flaps. These things are down here, as you can see. We've got to inhibit them. Yep, got the landing lights on. Passenger signs are on. I'm going to turn those arrows off at some point in the future. We set the pressure already. Now we've updated the RMP hopefully. Yes, I will change that to the we've got terrain inhibit there for some reason. We still got the overheat warning. Yes, we have. The overheat warning still there for the hydraulics. Right, we're going straight down to 3000 feet. I'm going to slow down to about 180 knots. Very close to landing at the moment. Let's just do that like that. Okay, 1 flat. 1 degree of flat. You'll notice I turned off the anti-ice earlier because we were well below the altitude required. Let's double check that fuel, the messed up fuel system. We'll have to pump it out of the centre now. Flaps can come to, I think, 5 at this point. So top of descent is 7,000 feet there, but we're already descending nice and early. From BE 101, check this. Got about 11 nautical miles to Devda, Lambda, and then should be final. Quite the distance to go yet, so we're nice and slow already. We're already approaching nice and correctly. So there we are. We're just turning. We've joined the downwind leg. I'm going to turn on to final in a second. We'll turn on to base leg and then we'll turn on to final for 1-2 right. And when we are established on final, I will call the ATC Unicom system and tell them we're on final, and probably established on localizer as well at that point. Very cool, very interesting. On hour 40, I think we're there just in time, to be honest. It took about half an hour for start up. So it's taken about an hour, I think. Plus the landing is slower. So we've got a deceleration point coming up. If we leave the vertical navigation selected, it'll automatically decelerate for us. So when we get to 160 knots, we'll put 15 degrees of flaps, and we'll put the lower landing gear when we get to, well, we'd lower the landing gear when we slow down to about 150. Reaching a good 60 FPS. I apologise if I'm streaming in 30 FPS again and again. I mentioned at the beginning because we had some issues with lag on previous streams. Just keeping an eye on the distance to final.
1,000 to go.
At 1,000 feet, we're 3,000, and that'll be our final approach height. We'll probably carry on and as we are, and then we get to Devdo, we'll slow down in preparation for land. We don't really need to descend now, we can just intercept the glide slope from this altitude. Very low down though. Okay, there's 3,000 feet. We're going to intercept the localizer at 3,000. Should we maintain about 180? Direct into Belgrade Airport. Welcome in to anyone as well who's watching. Our deceleration point will take us down to 165 knots, and we'll deploy two more notches of flaps. Set the course to 12. That's our heading for the runway. So that green line's moved now to basically the course we want. Of course it was a bit skewy before, there we go, so we're right on course. We select this to VOR, it should come up with it, or sorry, approach should come up with it. Now I was told at this point we might be able to select the localizer VOR lock. We're not actually within range to do that. We haven't picked it up at all. Maybe when we get to Devdo, because we've got to slow down anyway to 165. I think that's the runway in the distance. Yes it is, I can see another aircraft at the airport as well. So we're quite some distance yet, we don't have to slow down. You can see we've got 11 knot headwind, which is good. Straight into the wind. So this aircraft here must have landed on the wrong runway. Must have. So the approach rating is good this time, and the landing rating is good as well. Been trying to aim for 4 stars on both, minimum. Landing lights on, we just go for the checklists. We could probably stick the ignition to continuous at this point. Although we're still like a good distance out, good distance away from the runway, so Rozhgi for runway 12 is going to be 8 nautical miles. We've got about 4 nautical miles till we get there. Sorry, 2 nautical miles till we get there. And then 4 from Lambda to Rozhgi. So plenty of time to do it. Gonna select the localizer, that should intercept it. We won't select the approach switch yet because we haven't intercepted the glide slope. You see we're not on it yet. Ignition continuous. Deploy another notch of flaps, 10 degrees of flaps. That's going to help increase the drag of course in the aircraft and increase the lift at the same time. Have to reduce our stall speed as we slow down for final. So final approach VREF is 141, so we'll add 5 knots onto that, so about 146. We'll slow down to 155 for now. That would be 30 degrees of flaps. So let's add another 15. So we're about 15 degrees. Should be at 30. And we're within 2 nautical miles of the next waypoint, but we're not quite there for the landing gear just yet. Still got a way to go. See the trim wheel there trying to keep us up the altitude we've set. There's the glide slope, so we're going to select approach. And it's locked onto the glide slope, we're all good. We're good to go now. We can report to traffic, Belgrade traffic, that we're on final established ILS. Belgrade traffic, this is Sky Travel 090, it's fully established, 12 right. It's a shame not more people don't actually speak on the Unicom system, it's very, very useful. There we are. Descent has started towards the runway. We're going to go ahead and wait till we get to within 5 nautical miles for the gear.
2500.
We've got a warning. Yeah, that's the gear warning, so let's go ahead and stick it down. .146 isn't it for the VREF? Stick 30 degrees of flaps. We're not going to go 4 degrees. To be fair, we should be a bit faster if we're not going to go 40 degrees of flaps, so 148 plus 5. Not necessarily to have them all on all flights and all landings, you don't necessarily need 40 degrees of flaps apparently. It's always good to learn that. So according to what I was told, you would disengage at about 1,000 feet, disengage the autopilot 1,000 feet above there. We're about 2,000 now. I don't know what the landing altitude is because we've got no reference. There's the outer marker. I'm going to disengage the autopilot in a second. IE now. Silence the horn. We won't disengage the auto throttle just yet, we'll just maintain what we're doing now and then see if we can touch down like this. Try and maintain minimum input. And when I disengage the autopilot, it's happened a few times, I'll usually fall below the glide slope or above it, which is a pain. It's go ahead and disengage the alt throttle. Nice amount of trim in there. So we've got 2 puppy lights, red, 2 white. That's ideal. Trying to maintain the descent rate we have now. Just reduce that for us to bring our altitude down as well. Middle marker, all green.
300. 200.
Don't worry about the glide slope. We're actually close enough to the runway now. We can do it visually. We don't need to worry about the glide slope.
100.
We were a little bit low. It's just because of the high
50.
amount of runway not in
40,
use.
30. 20. 10.
Okay, we touched down well. So reverse thrusters and spoilers. Straight down the centre line.
80 knots.
80 knots. We're below 50, so we can disengage the reverse. Retract the flaps. As you see that it's gone yellow, that means we disengage them. If we look out,
Safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
well, we're going to get off the runway. We should have the taxi lights on, set line lights off. I'm going to take a right exit here and then we'll taxi down to parking. Yeah, we'll go down Alpha. Very good. Let's take the strobes off. I usually stick them off when we clear the runway. Depends whether it's busy or not as well. Tend to have them on if it's not very busy. There's another aircraft at the airport I've already seen, so we turn them off in courtesy of him, respecting the other pilots. He seems to have done a magical U-turn. He might be going on to another flight as well. Well, we're going to taxi. We'll probably go down to the same one. We'll probably go down to Golf and see if there's a space available. So yeah, welcome to Belgrade, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favourite airports to fly in. Certainly one of the most interesting approaches. Especially at night time as well, you get to see the beautiful city of Belgrade. Belgrade traffic, this is Sky Travel 090, clear of 12 right. We turn the flight directors off, so let's click those off. Do the shutdown when we get to the stand. Bring that speed down as well so we don't collide or crash our aircraft. Looking very busy. There's the A320 by EasyJet that we was talking about earlier, the main competition actually to the 737-800NG. One of the better planes to watch. Now we're not going to take this. I think this is hotel, is it? And then we got Golf on the next turn. So let's carry on down Gulf. That aircraft in front, just off to the right, I believe is the other player, the other pilot. So he's in an Air Serbia aircraft. I'm assuming that's him and not somebody else. Let's check the map. Yeah, so that's him. We got another plane over here that's just spawned. Cool to see the Air Serbia livery. I'll have to see if I can download the Air Serbia and the LOT Airlines as well. So let's keep going off to the end. We can see if we can get space. There's a space just here actually we can take. Perfect size for our aircraft. A3, Alpha 3. I hope this is for a 737. We'll go right to the end anyway, make sure it can connect to the jetway. Parking brake set. We're going to go ahead and do the shutdown with the APU on. Should really turn the APU on when we get to the runway. Taxi lights off, APU on, low pressure, so it'll come on in a second. Interesting to have the overheat on these as well. Can in fact switch those off. But it was interesting to see those illuminating during the flight. APU's kicking in now. As soon as we shut down the engines, it'll connect. Hopefully, we can connect to the APU. Right, let's go to the moment of truth, the absolute ultimate moment for a pilot. How good or bad is the landing? Okay, I'll take that. Great landing. I knew it was a great landing, but the approach bad for some reason. Out of all the approaches I've done and I've gotten bad ratings, that one actually seems alright. That was an alright approach. We're on the correct glide slope. I disagree with it. So it's saying a high rate of descent below 500. We actually touched down very well, so I'm not sure. And then high glide slope deviation. This has got to be inaccurate, this approach rating system. I will just say it's inaccurate because my landing was good. Approach flap speed and FMC. I mean, we did it all correctly. We approached the runway absolutely fine. The touchdown rate was very good as well. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to try and download another software to get the actual landing rating. So APU, go ahead and shut down the engines. When we turn the beacons off, that means the passengers can get out of the aircraft, and we turn the fasten seat belts off. So everyone's going to get out and the jetway should connect. There it goes. Perfect parking, mind you. Right on the yellow line. Smartwings. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, the doors are open, which is good. And the passengers are unloading themselves. So, fantastic. What do we need to do now? So we do the shutdown, we'll turn the fuel pumps off. Of course, we don't want fuel, we'll turn the yacht. We're just going to do a full shutdown. Do the IRS off as well. Trim air can come off. Probe heat should be off before you even get to the ramp. Window heat. Packs off. Isolation on. APU on. Now, because we're doing a full shutdown, we can shut everything. We're literally going to shut everything off. We were not even leaving it prepared for the next cruise. We're going to turn the off on the lights as well. APU, engine bleed air, recirculation fans. Turn the APU off. We have got ground power available, so we can keep it connected to ground power for now. But that's it. The aircraft's shut down, but pretty much the radio should go off when the ground power is disconnected. So yeah, very good. The passengers are getting off. They've given me a good 4-star rate in London. I'm happy with that. And thank you for joining me for flight. It's been as usual, try and get a good view of the aircraft and the exits for you. Been a great flight. I really hope to see you all in the next one. We'll continue from Belgrade, as a tradition, and we'll continue to another European nation. I hope Turkey. I really hope Turkey. So let me know in the chat and in the comments. And all the best. Take care.